the Dollar Tree, the marigold seeds here. Let me put it down so that you can see the marigold, the zinnia, cosmos, Shasta daisy, and the gypsophilia. And so I think that I want to plant them in the ground here. Plus, also today it's going to rain, and it will be good for them to get the rain water. Good morning and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. Well, this is the front border, and as you can see, the tulips are here and they're starting to fade already. Isn't that amazing? The yellow tulips here are beginning to fade, and some of the red tulips back there are fading. The purple tulips just came up, but they too look like they're going through some hard times. So that's telling me that I need to start to plant some seedlings in here, some flowers, and start to get this bed, at least get some of the seeds started here in this bed. So as you can see, here there are different seeds that are sprouting. Some of them are weed seeds, and some of them are seeds that I had sown here before, some wildflower seeds. So I don't really want to dig them up per se, but yet I'm going to need to do something because it's time to do something here in this bed to get things started. At least I feel that way. So I do have my seeds from the Dollar Tree, the marigold seeds here. Let me put it down so that you can see the marigold, the zinnia, cosmos, Shasta daisy, and the gypsophilia. And so I think that I want to plant them in the ground here. Plus, also today it's going to rain, and it will be good for them to get the rain water. So I'm going to find different locations here in this bed to put these seeds and kind of mark them so that I'll be able to just know where exactly I planted them. Because that's the other issue, is that you could seed things down, but then I end up forgetting where I've seeded them, and I end up digging them back up again. But I just really love this particular tulip. Let's see if I can get it into focus. Isn't that pretty? I think that is so pretty. And there's some others there too. And here's one. And it does look very pretty with this purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disturb the earth here, and I did before because I had intentions of actually planting some seeds here. So I think in this side here I'm going to sow some of the zinnia seeds. So what I'm going to do is like create rows here, and then as they come up, I can also transplant them. So I'm going to plant these Giants of California mix colors here in this section. So these are the seeds. They're not much, but you can kind of space them out a bit. I think there's a few left here. Yeah, and then like just lightly cover them up. Kind of space it a little bit. Kind of press them in and just cover them up. What came out here? It's very dry, very dry, but it's gonna rain, so that's one of the reasons why I want to get these seeds out here. So I have this marker here, so I'm going to just put it here, and that will remind me that I've already planted something there. So next to it, I have another area that I've already dug up and defined right here. So what I'm going to do is put these Chasta daisies here. These are the Chasta daisy seeds. They're very small. Wow. So with that, what I will do is just kind of like press them, kind of just to see if I can just shake them in. And lightly cover them over. Going to put the marigolds here. So these are what the seeds look like here. So you could just create put them in, just try to equally distribute it as much as possible. And just cover them up. Alright, so that will be for the marigold right there. So marigolds, Chasta daisy, zinnias. I still have the cosmos to sprinkle, and the cosmos seeds are very fine too. So let's just put them right here. I'm going to just disturb this soil right here. And let's see if I can make some rows. So I'm going to put cosmos right there. And this is what the cosmos seeds look like. So let's see if we can I feel if I could at least get him in the trench, then it wouldn't be so bad. Yeah. All right. So just so that I have this as a reference for myself, that's where the cosmos is. This is where the Shasta daisy. And this is where the marigold. So I put the marigold there. The cosmos up there. The Shasta right there, and the zinnias here. Now, I have these two here, and so since I'm here, I might as well just sprinkle them in as well. And these look like a filler, more like this looks like a filler to me more than anything else. So if I could just sprinkle them lightly on the seeds. See how thin the seeds are? Just kind of sprinkle the seeds lightly like that. And probably don't even have to cover them much, because I don't even know where they fell. But they're in amongst this here. So that's it with the seeds. Now I am going to do some in pots too. So I'll have both methods. But for right now, I think I'm going to just leave them right here like that. Today I'm going to seed some of my okra seeds. These seeds came from my garden. I saved the seeds and now I'm soaking them, and I'm going to plant them out in these containers that I have here. I also have some basil, sweet corn, dill, and also hollyhocks that I'm going to seed out as well. But first I'm going to start with the okra seeds. And as I said, I harvested these seeds from my garden last year. I think they're the spineless, the crimson spineless okra seeds, or also the purple ones. It's either or, but I believe that these were the spineless seeds. And I'm going to plant them out in this container. Now in this soil mix, it is the Coast of Maine Bar Harbor Blend Organic and Natural Potting Soil. So I'm going to use this as well as some compost that I've mixed in with it, and a little of the organic garden tone as well. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is fill each of these compartments with soil. So I'm putting a good amount of soil into each container, because my expectation is that when they grow up and get their two leaves, their true leaves, maybe 2 leaves, but probably more so their true leaves, I am going to then plant them out in the garden. By that time it will be warm enough. So I'm going to put these in the greenhouse here, and that way they can sprout out. So let me get the seed here. See, this is what the seed looks like. I think I'm going to put like 2 to 3 seeds in each of the, probably 3, and try to space them out. Sometimes seeds can be difficult, but you know, just try and space them out so that they're not sitting on top of one another, so that when you are ready to transplant them, that you can do so. And it is good to kind of put it near the sides. You can put like one in the middle and then towards the edges. I think for some reason they seem to germinate well when they're on the side of the container. I don't know why. I just feel that way sometimes. Yeah. But you know, getting them into the potting mix is the most important thing. Now I have some extras. I'm going to use all the seeds, so I'm going to just put them in there. And because I'm not sure about the germination rate here, I'm going to just use them all. And as I said, those that are far enough apart from one another, it'll be pretty good. It'll be easier to divide. I think that's about it. I know my seed starting people are probably saying, I don't know, Catherine, if this is going to work. But I do not mind pricking them out and separating them. So I got them all in, which is really good. I'm just going to like kind of tap them down and then cover them up. Then I have to give this a really good soaking. The ideal thing is to have the soil moist, but I think if I water it in from the top and the bottom, it won't be too bad. So then just cover them over. And these are big seeds, so they will find their way up. Alright, so let me just tap it down a little bit again. Oops, give this a little coverage. Okay, so that's that. Now I just need to water them in and then put them away. So I recycled a plastic tray that had some muffins in it, and I'm using them as a tray to keep the okra in. And so now I'm going to just water them in really well. This might not be the best way to do it, but you have to be very gentle too, because I'm sure it's going to move the seeds a little bit. But and then I'm going to put some water in the tray at the bottom so that it can soak up from the bottom as well. And that way it can soak up from the bottom. It can soak up from the bottom, and it will be nice and moist. I have these 2 white containers, and I did seed initially the alyssum in these 2 containers, and they did okay. The alyssum that I sowed in here, I transplanted them actually into this. So this is where the alyssum ended up here. These alyssum I self-sowed. I just directly threw them in here, and they seem to be doing very well. And these were in that pot over there, and they're doing good too as well. They're gaining their 3rd leaves now, I think. Yeah, and they're here with my David Austin rose. So I'm going to seed in the basil here, and I love basil, and I use them as a cut and come again. And I actually sowed basil in these containers last year and had it here on the deck, and it did very, very well. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just sow them in here. The basil seeds are very, very small, and so I can scatter them throughout here as best as I can. I'm going to try and just distribute it across this container. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to tap it down because they're so small. Kind of just tap it down like this. They will find their place. And then water it in really well. Might just give us a real quick sprinkling. Alright, so that's that. And then the other one. So they're in there, and I'm just going to tap it down again. You just want to make sure that the seeds have contact with the soil. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit over it lightly of soil. Alright. And then just water them in real well. And that is pretty much that. I wanted to do some more planting, but I so far planted the corn in the white, and then in this blue container, I planted the okra in the white, the corn in the blue, and also in this container here. And down here planted the basil, so that's where they ended up. The basil is down here. And so it is starting to rain, which is great because, as you can see, it's very, very dry in the garden. So they really need the rain, and I'm so thankful for this rain. And everything that I planted will get watered in. There's one thing I want to show you as well, is that these cannas are doing really well with this covering. See the canna here? And I'm starting to get signs of the canna coming up. Isn't that fantastic? Well, that's it. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. This is what the garden looks like right now. Thank you. Bye. Join me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Bye. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.